The Space Marines, the greatest faction that has ever hit Warhammer 40,000. In today's video, guess what? We're talking more Space Marines because I want to talk about the upcoming launch of 11th edition and what characters I would like to see get a refresh, what chapters I think should get more love. Now, some of this is pure speculation, but some of the stuff, of course, is going to have some rumors sprinkled on top of it. So let's jump in and let's get waffling. So let's literally start with probably one of the biggest characters, one of the biggest fan chapters that are out there, and of course that is the Carcharodons, the Space Sharks. There's been so much talk recently about the Space Sharks. Of course, I did a video a couple of weeks ago talking about Tiberius, the Red Wake. He's been badly wounded. There's a lot of speculation that he could be crossing the Rubicon Primaris in his current state, which again would make sense because that is one of the reasons why a lot of characters do cross the Rubicon Primaris, because instead of going into a Dreadnought, they just fix them that way. Yes, I know it's weird in the lore, but that is what's been happening with some characters. Now, when it comes to Tiberius used to actually have a model. It was a Forge World model. It was one of these special models that you could buy years and years and years ago when Forge World, to me, had a little bit of personality. Since those days, it's more or less gone now. It's like a specialist game studio, and they're not really into like doing like special characters, vehicles, upgrade kits and stuff like that. But he did have one, and I would absolutely love Tiberius to be featured and get a brand new model, especially so with all the brand new Terminator refresh that we've just had during 10th edition. We've had like Deathwing, we've had like the Wolfguard Terminators. Sadly, we haven't had Blood Angel stuff as of yet, but you know, there has been a big refresh when it comes to Terminators, Assault Terminators, Lysander, etc. So it would make sense for Tiberius, I can't even say his name, or you know, Tiberius, as I normally say. It makes sense for Tiberius the Red Wake to actually get that refresh. His model is going to be absolutely amazing. He's like claws of like just ripping things apart and stuff. You can even make the Terminator model a little bit bigger to actually match what he is in the lore, because Tiberius is absolutely bloody massive. Like, he has to have like custom armor put on him because that's how bloody big he is. So if you brought him to the tabletop, and not only him as well, if you brought like a decal sheet for the Carcharodons, if you brought some like armor upgrades, like shoulder pads, maybe some chest pieces, maybe a little bit of the helmet stuff, because we have heard rumors that Games Workshop are going to be including some older mark helmets in that new Intercessor kit. If that's the case, you've already got the plastic bits for it. Just make a Carcharodon upgrade box and boom, you've got it right in front of you. You've got something that would make you a lot of money and make a lot of fans happy. And the next chapter I want to talk about, I'm actually surprised they haven't got love already. Technically, they have got love, but I was expecting a lot more love during 10th edition. So when 10th edition launched, we got a massive surprise. Inside the launch box for 10th edition, a part of the Space Marine decal sheet, we got Raptor symbols, and this was an absolute fantastic thing because the Raptors, they are a successor of the Raven Guard. They have a great fan base as well. Myself and a lot of other people were speculating, surely this means that the Raptors are going to get some love. They're going to get some characters, maybe some, you know, like shoulder pads and stuff like that, because they've just got like this cool decal sheet. So GW must be planning to do something with them. Throughout the whole of 10th edition where we are right now, nothing has happened with the Raptors. They've only got those decals inside of the box, which again is so strange that they put the decals in there, but they never put any characters out there. Now, one character that they could do is Isodon. He is a chapter master of the Raptor chapter. I know there's like other characters out there like the first captain and stuff like that, but I think he's like the big one to go to. So if they were to give the Raptors some love, which I hopefully they do going forward in 11th edition, they deserve it, then I think Isodon is the right direction to go down. But yeah, completely baffled why they haven't had more love. They actually took part in a big bit of the narrative right at the start. Again, this is why I was so excited for like Raptor players. I was like, oh my God, they're really giving it to the Raptors. The Raptors are one of the key players now. Like, they're even more key than like the Raven Guard at the start, which is absolutely bizarre. But yes, nothing's happened with the Raptors, and hopefully we get some love with the Raptors going forward. Now, if you are like me, you love to fist, and when it comes to fisting, we all love a red fist, or should I say a crimson fist, and I get so many questions about the crimson fist. I'll say this right now, right at the start, there has been rumors about a crimson fish refresh. Now, in terms of refresh, let me just put this down right now. I've heard that apparently there is going to be a brand new Pedro Cantor model coming. I'm not sure about Alessio Cortez or anything like that, but I've heard about Pedro Cantor. When it comes to like upgrade stuff like shoulder pads, I don't think they'd go down that road, for the simple fact is that is just an Imperial Fist pad, and you can just paint that blue and red rather than just, you know, yellow and black. So I don't think they're going to do that. They have just done brand new Crimson Fist decals, which is part of the Imperial Fist Combat Patrol box, and I think it's going to be in the brand new Battalion Sons of Dawn box for this Cadia shenanigan thing that's going on. So they're all there already. We're just now waiting on the actual models themselves. Are they going to get like dedicated units? I'm not too sure. The great thing about Crimson Fist with this new narrative going forward in 11th edition is that the Crimson Fist absolutely bloody hate orcs, and apparently the 11th edition narrative is all going to be about orcs, so maybe they can throw their ore in and you know, just start smacking people left and right. Not only that, this past couple of days, Games Workshop have just put out a brand new book, but a re-release of Rinceworld in a fancy new edition. It looks like it's like wearing jeans, if I'm not mistaken. But I'll try and put the image in the background right now so you can see it. So there's definitely some hype building up for the Crimson Fist. I definitely do believe it's leading into a mini refresh of some sort of the Crimson Fist. I personally think the rumors of Pedro Cantor are true. Again, just because I believe the rumors doesn't mean that you should believe the rumors. When's it all going to be dropping? That's anyone's guess at this point. It could be at the start, it could be at the middle, it could be at the end. But I'm down. I can't wait to see the new Pedro Cantor model, and hopefully it looks absolutely bloody brilliant. And jumping from bloody fists, let's jump to bloody armor. Let's talk about one of the most vicious chapters out there. Some say more vicious than the Carcharodons. Let's talk about the Flesh Tearers. I put a thumbnail up on a video the other day that had Gabriel Seth in there, and I was like, Valrak, you didn't even mention Gabriel Seth. Well, I'm mentioning him today. Just like Pedro Cantor, I have heard rumors that there is going to be a brand new Gabriel Seth model. One of the big rumors that I've heard potentially going forward in 11th edition is that in 10th edition, we basically got some of the big characters from each of the first factions. Sorry, I say first factions, first founding chapters. So you got like the brand new chapter master for the Raven Guard. You got like the Imperial Fist, Lysander, etc., etc. And what I'm hearing apparently for 11th edition, we're going to get something like that, but it is going to feature some of the second founding chapter masters and some of the second founding chapters, just like I just mentioned, like Pedro Cantor, and of course Gabriel Seth is one of them. Gabriel Seth is known throughout all the fandom. He's the most probably angriest space marine there is at this moment in time. I'm a massive fan of Gabriel Seth, just the way he looks at the world, just the way he looks at Primaris Marines. He's not the biggest fan of Primaris Marines, even though the Primaris Marines do have the same flaws now as the Blood Angels, etc., etc., and all that type of stuff. Like at the beginning, he was like, these are not real sons of Sanguinius. They don't know like the Red First or the Black Rage, but now we know that they do. They do suffer from the same things, so they technically are just Blood Angels. So I don't think you can be mad at Primaris anymore, but I don't know. It's Gabriel Seth. He can be mad at anything. Will Gabriel Seth cross the Rubicon Primaris? I'm going to leave that to you chaps in chat right now. Will they Primarisfy Gabriel Seth, or will he stay angry as a firstborn Marine refreshed? Absolutely zero idea. All I care about is a more cooler, badass looking Gabriel Seth model, which hopefully happens very, very bloody soon. And the next chapter I want to talk about, actually, I didn't want to talk about these, but if I didn't mention it, I know you guys would have my head on a spike. Of course, it's the Minotaurs. The Minotaurs have a massive fandom when it comes to the hobby. I'm not too keen on them because the guy who made the Minotaurs all the way back in the Imperial Armor books, like way back. He actually made them based on the Iron Warrior gene seed. There's actually a post out there where he talks about it, like, you know, these are from the Iron Warrior gene seed. And since he made the chapter, he has the rights to say where they're from. I know Games Workshop could probably change that at a drop of a hat, but I'm always going to go with the creator of, like, this chapter. So for me, they are sons of Carcharodons. Some say the sons of Dawn. How dare you? I will never accept these as sons of bloody Rogol Dawn. They will always be the sons of the loser Carcharodon. So yes, Minotaurs, Moloch, just like the Carcharodons and stuff back in the day, they used to have Forge World stuff. They used to have bits, and you had like a chaplain, you had Astor and Moloch as an actual model. But again, Forge World, all that stuff just went in the bin, and we've lost that type of awesome special character. So if they were to bring that back, again, Terminator, it all makes sense. We've talked about the Terminator refresh, right? Moloch would look absolutely amazing on the tabletop. Brand new, fresh model, looking all gloriously, lapdogging it up for the High Lords of Terror. I think it could be an absolutely massive win. Decal sheet, some upgrade bits, 1 or 2 characters maybe. I think it would be absolutely fantastic. I personally would love to see it, even though I do hate their guts. And I know some people are going to bring up, like, the Blood Angels. Like, Valrak, I wasn't really happy with the Blood Angel stuff. Again, what I would like to happen to the Blood Angels, I don't think they're going to redesign the Sanguinary Guard. I know a lot of people are saying, are they going to redo it? You know, upgrade kit with the wings. No, that's a design choice they've made now. Those models are going to be around for the next 10, 15 plus years, probably. Maybe I'm wrong. I have absolutely no idea, but I don't think they're going to change it anytime soon. Again, one of my theories, one of my predictions is that going forward in 11th edition, I think one of the refreshes you may see with the Blood Angels, one is Terminators, of course, because they're the only first founding faction that never got the Terminator love out of the dedicated book codex chapters, like the Space Wolves and the Dark Angels. Both got their Terminators, but the Blood Angels never got anything fancy with theirs. Again, there's a lot of speculation about a Space Hulk game, and potentially that's where they could come in that. Again, rumors, lies, everything that's going on with that. I'm just sick of going on about Space Hulk at this point. Every time I mention it, I'm just let down at the end. But Blood Angels, I would love to see them get some Terminator stuff. I have talked about Death Company when it comes to the Blood Angels, and I think this is where a potential spicy refresh could come. Yes, I know we got some Blood Angel Death Company stuff in 10th edition, but it was mainly the characters. Like, if you look at, like, the Assault Intercessors, the Jump Pack Intercessors, they're kind of bland. Well, they are bland. It's not kind of bland. They are bland. They're just painted black with a red cross on them. It's nothing like the old Death Company kits where you used to get, like, helmets, jump packs, shoulder pads, chest pieces, all really stylized to the Death Company. I'm hoping in 11th edition, going forward, that is the kind of coolness they'll bring back to the Blood Angels. But at this point, it's anyone's guess what Games Workshop are going to do with the Blood Angels. Yes, I was very let down what they got in 10th edition. And I'm just going to do a quick fire now right at the end, because I know people are going to spam me in the messages and stuff at the end. Black Templars. The thing I would love to see with Black Templars is Terminator Sword Brethren. I would love to see a Terminator Marshal. I don't think you can really add more to their range. I think they've got everything. I think the Black Templars had probably the best range refresh. Greater than the Space Wolves, in my opinion. Greater than the Dark Angels. Definitely greater than the Blood Angels. I think they knocked it out of the park. I think every single release when it came to the Black Templars was like a 9, 10 out of 10. I absolutely loved it. Yes, a little bit more. Some Terminator love. Terminator Marshal. I think it would be absolutely the cherry on top of the cake. Grey Knight. How long have we bloody got for Grey Knights? New Khaldor Drago, I think he's definitely needed. I like Khaldor Drago. I know there's a lot of people out there that think he's absolutely broken. Yes, he kind of is. Carving his name on certain Primarch's hearts. Don't mention it to Daka, he'll start crying. But I love Khaldor Drago. I think the Grey Knights deserve that refresh. I've heard rumours that 11th edition is going to be their edition. They are going to get a big refresh during 11th edition. How big that refresh is? Your guess is as good as mine at this point. Surely it's the Terminators, it's some more characters, brother captains, maybe like specialized like librarians and stuff, and maybe some vehicles. We do need some more vehicle love going forward in these editions. I think 11th edition will be introducing a lot of new vehicles and a lot of new vehicle love. Anything else on top of that? Dark Angels, Space Wolves, Dark Angels, the Ravenwing refresh, we've talked about that, you know, brand new Samuel. I'm not sure what's going to be happening with the bikes. We are supposed to be getting like multi-part Outriders. There's going to be a new land speed apparently in the 11th edition box set. Is all this going to be viable? with that Ravenwing refresh? I would think so. I think GW want to sell as many models to as many people as possible. So I think you're going to be taking everything for everything. Space Wolves, they got a great refresh, just like the Black Templars. Very, very good refresh. The only thing I could see potentially going forward, which maybe I'd like to see, well, I say I would like to see. I wouldn't like to see it, but I know some Space Wolf people out there would love to see it. Thunderwolf Cavalry. Let me just clear this up, okay? If you like the Thunderwolf Cavalry, I'm happy for you. But you have to understand that I think it's the most stupidest, bizarre-looking model on the tabletop. It's Space Wolves riding Space Wolves. It's literally their fallen brothers, like who didn't make it into the gene process. The Kenix Helix taking over them, and they literally turn into a wolf. That's what they are. You're literally riding your fallen or, your uninitiated brother into battle. That's what makes me laugh so much when I look at the Thunderwolf Cavalry. Anything else for the Space Wolves? I absolutely don't think so. Is anything more or less out there? Deathwatch? Oh, Deathwatch needs so much more love. I'm not sure what's going to go on with Deathwatch. Deathwatch apparently are going to be involved in Armageddon, of course, with the Orcs returning to Armageddon. Apparently the last book, which is called Armageddon before 11th edition launches, there is going to be some Deathwatch love in there, and the Deathwatch are supposed to be getting like a combat patrol, a box that has the new Deathwatch Marines in there, and it has their flyer in there as well. So hopefully a lot of love going forward for the Deathwatch. I think they deserve it. I know some people say they don't need their own codex. I love them getting their own codex because we got the lore. It's not about the rules. It's not about anything else. It's about the lore, the stories, the characters then that are included into it. That's what I want. I want a good story. I want a good piece of lore to read and get excited about. That's why I hate when factions like Chaos Demons and the Deathwatch lost their books, because we lost an absolute massive archive of lore along with those books. I didn't really care about the rules. The rules change every bloody week because the meta players keep breaking it, but the lore, we lost it. Anyway, that's enough waffling from me. Sorry for the quick fire right at the end. I don't know how long I've been chin-wagging for this video. I think it's been more than 7 minutes. I'm working overtime at this moment in time. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching as always. Again, we are now in March. The countdown has officially begun. We've got just, I think as I'm recording this, 2 weeks now. Is it under 2 weeks? I think 13, 14 days until the reveal happens. I'm excited. Let's see what happens. If you've got any thoughts, feedback, anything that I've just talked about, post it down below. I'm going to have a little chin wag down there as we always do. See ya. Have a great day, brothers, and bye-bye.